Hello, CEO teachers. Welcome back to the show. Wow, it's good to be back. I've taken the last week off since we had our launch, which is our busiest time of the year, and we always take a week off. So I did some little preloading of shows and I'm back, and it feels good to be back, but also it was so nice to rest, recharge, and relax. There is some construction going on in the bakery behind me. I'm not sure what is happening, but if you can hear the thud, I apologize. I hope you guys are having a beautiful day. It is gorgeous here in South Georgia today, and the sun is shining bright. It is a little bit chilly, but feeling so good about the future of education. And I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to be talking all about those of you that may be thinking this quick statement in your mind right now. I don't want to be a teacher anymore. I want you to know that that's okay. You were given this gift of being a teacher, and maybe it looks a little different than what they told you in college. So today's show is all about jobs for teachers that are interested in leaving the classroom, things you can do but still make money even with your education degree. So stick around. You don't want to miss it. What if I told you you couldn't lose? That I could give you a sure bet, a smooth ride to finally loving the art of teaching again. I know it sounds crazy, but it's funny how when something sparks inside of you, when your heart gets lit back up, that you can change your life for the good, not only in the area of teaching, but really in every single thing that you do. I remember this aha moment when I was a teacher. And I was sitting there teaching other people's kids, and I thought, man, I'm getting paid to raise other people's children while I'm paying someone to raise mine. And that didn't sit well for me. So I started thinking to myself, how can I make extra money? How can I provide for my family more so that I can do this part time, or I can leave if I want to, or I can teach just in a different way? And I started thinking, how can I help other teachers? And if you're thinking to yourself, but I'm just a teacher, I don't really have any other skill set, I want to say thank goodness, because that is our specialty. Teachers supporting other teachers. It's exactly what we do here. I want you to start living the life you deserve. The 10 steps to get started selling your teaching resources online is your roadmap to help you take massive action and prioritize the most important things in life. I'm going to show you the strategies that I took when I began my journey, and I started living a life not only of my dreams, but now the life that I live and breathe every single day. I want to give that gift to you. Go to caseymorris.com/10 steps to get your brand spanking new workbook. I can't wait to change your life and give you some hope and some dreams again about teaching, because this is what you were meant to do. It just might be a little different than what they told you in college. Again, it's caseymorris.com/10 steps. You can type it in your browser like KAYSEMORRIS.com/10 steps. E. Cummings said, "It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are." And I felt that in my soul right here, right now. And then Ariana Huffington said, "We need to accept that we won't always make the right decisions, that we'll screw up royally sometimes, understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success." So I don't want you to feel like a failure if you thought to yourself, I don't want to be a teacher anymore, because I felt that way, but I didn't know any way out. I was like, I don't want to be a teacher anymore, but now what? What am I supposed to do? I have no idea. If you're watching this on YouTube, we do upload all of these podcasts to our YouTube channel. If you go to Casey Morris, I have green all over my hands. Not sure what happened. I think a pin exploded, but if you're watching this and I'm talking with my hands and you see there's green all over it, that's where we're at right now. Did you know that a staggering 55% of educators are thinking about leaving the profession earlier than they had originally planned? 86% of public schools struggle to hire educators. 44% of teachers leave within the first 5 years of the profession. And here's the reason teachers are leaving. Of course, it's the pay. I know you all are feeling the work conditions. It's lack of support, lack of autonomy, and changing of the curriculum every single year. Did you know that 300,000 teachers exit the profession each year? And the percentage of teachers who were very satisfied with their job fell from 62% in 2008 and 12% in 2023. I got to give the data. Okay, like if you've listened to the show enough, you know that I got to get the quotes, then I got to give the data. If you're here for it, thank you. If not, it's okay. But what does all this data tell me? Well, it tells us this: a shift is necessary, and I feel it in my bones that it is coming. I actually believe it's happening right now, because this one really hits home for me. Teachers have such a heart of service that they tend to stick it out much longer than, say, someone who's an accountant and doesn't like their job, or someone who is doing something that they don't love and just says, I'm going to just change professions because I don't have a degree in this. Teachers are different. But why? Well, it's because the teacher guilt that they feel over their choices. And I believe this goes back to who we are as humans. I believe teachers are good people. They are good to people. They are good people. And so we feel guilty for making this decision when at the end of the day, we have to remember that the only way to have happiness in our life is to choose happiness in our life. And I say this as a reminder to myself because each day you're faced with the decisions of, do I make the tough choice and find happiness in that, or do I stay where I am and be miserable? And so I want to be your reminder that every decision I've ever made in my life that has been the hardest decision of my life has turned out to be one of the best ones. You aren't going to be able to write the book. And I don't want to encourage you to force this, but I want you to flow with it. I want you to believe that whatever is out there for you, you can easily find. So, because of the teacher guilt that you feel over your choices, you may be asking yourself these questions. Who will support your students? Will they be able to pass the test? Who is going to understand if this student is hungry or this student is a behavior challenge? Who will realize that this student needs a little bit more support in her language class? Who is going to make sure that this kid's backpack is ready to go before he leaves for speech services? And guys, we know the list goes on and on and on. And I'm going to hit you with a cold, hard Casey mama truth right now. That is that everyone is replaceable. And I know you feel like no one can do your job, but someone will. And you get to live the life you want to live rather than the life someone else has chosen for you. The demands on today's education are not what they used to be. And I know you know that. We continue to expect teachers to be okay with being told that they can't go to the bathroom, or they have to wear jeans on just a certain day, or they can't take a sick day. I'll never forget. It was during the Georgia milestones. I don't think I've ever shared this story. I may have. And I had to go to the bathroom because I'm a grown up, right? I had to go to the bathroom. All of my students were finished with the test. My teacher next door, his students were finished. We were done. We'd already packed up the test. We'd already given them back to the, I don't know what they call a moderator or something like that. And so I asked my teacher next door if he would watch my kids. All of them had their heads down or they were reading a book. And he came over and was like, sure. And he stood in the hallway between mine and his classes. And I got yelled at for walked to the bathroom and tried to get me to stop closing the bathroom door. In what job, in what world does that exist? Like as adults, I was like looking like, what's going on here? Like that's the kind of things we're dealing with as teachers, not to mention the demands and requirements of actually teaching, like expecting 30 plus personalities in a room at different levels to get the same level of education and you to feel like you did a good job, plus your paycheck to look like it does, right? Let's get real. There has to be a shift. And until that happens, until we rally together and believe that we are worthy of so much more, then I'm going to help support you in your home, your life, your mental health, your internal compass. We're going to set the stage for what this shift is going to look like. So let's break it down. How do you know that leaving might be the right choice? Well, if the Sunday scaries are getting worse, you have nothing left for your family. I said this on Instagram yesterday. I knew that something had to change when I realized that my family was getting the rest of me instead of the best of me. Maybe your self-esteem issues manifest every time you head toward the staff break room. Negativity flows through every walking thought, and the day-to-day grind is killing all of your creative vibes. So, the reason you're here, Casey, what can I do? What can I do to make thousands of dollars to help me pay back my educational debt if I don't want to be a classroom teacher anymore? Well, here are some examples of things that you can do. I just want to set the stage of awareness today and bring you up to date with how teachers are doing this. First is education consulting. I want you to think professional development. I want you to think teacher support coach or supporting parents navigating a new education system. Only you get to do this in your own right. I'm not talking about working for big box companies. I'm talking about creating your own schedule, your own business that deals with education consulting. You could easily start this as fast as tomorrow. Next is being a VA or a virtual assistant to other teacher business owners, even if you don't have the skill set just yet. Maybe you learn a little bit of website development specifically for teacher business owners. Maybe you get really good at Canva or graphic design. Or maybe you're an English teacher or a history teacher and you're really good at doing research. You could be a virtual assistant for these teachers that are making these huge lesson plans and these curriculums and are becoming consultants. And you could be the back end system behind all of that. Next up is, I know a lot of you are tutoring already. How about putting that into a virtual form where, yes, you could still do it in person if you like, but being able to help the masses allows you to work smarter, not harder, and to branch out and to make more money in a faster amount of time. Many of you, if not all of you listening, are already curriculum developers. You're using your teaching magic to create classroom tested ideas, to create lesson plans, resources, and so much more. You just need a little bit of polish, a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of bejeweled to make them sell online. My favorite thing is watching teachers become course creators because they're such great teachers. You were born with that gift, and being a course creator is just a naturally easy thing for you. So you could teach other people about a specific task, and it doesn't have to be anything to do with education. It could be anything that brings you joy or lights you up. Now, it could be education focused, like science or reading or social emotional skills or secondary math. Maybe you're good at grant writing or resume writing. You also could think about a way to create a membership. Now, this is when teachers need ongoing support through the year. So, a course is more like a one and done thing. But memberships are continuous. They are monthly. They are giving teachers something like lessons or support, maybe as a first year teacher, or maybe college professor support for students who have no idea how to navigate the college life. Or maybe you're a principal looking for administrative support for your leadership team. Memberships allow you could create that or even join a membership that could help you navigate those areas of your life. Another area is blogging, podcasting, YouTubing. These are just a way to bring awareness to what you already do in the online space, and to monetize your channel or your blog or your podcast will help you make additional revenue, but also give you something you enjoy doing. I love showing up for you guys every Wednesday. It's my favorite thing. It's my favorite part of my job. And well, I like to run my mouth, in case you didn't know that. And so being able to be a podcaster, this brings such awareness to our business, but it makes it where it's fun for me because I get to share value with educators. And maybe you want to share value with other educators or families or students. Have you ever thought about selling physical products? So maybe you're a tutor that is really good at making hands-on materials that go with books for your students. Maybe you want to save teachers time by putting together capsule wardrobes and shipping them out, kind of like Stitch Fix. The sky is the limit here. I want to set the stage so you can engage with what you want to do with your life. And I'm going to ask you that until I'm no longer here on this planet. What do you want? What do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What life do you want to live? Because if you can answer those questions for me, we can get there together. There are so many ways to supplement your income. You can continue to use your teaching magic. So please, no more feeling guilty about leaving the profession that you could replace as quickly as this afternoon if you decided not to go back after lunch today. And I know there's a teacher shortage. I know that there is a substitute shortage. And I'm not hoping that every educator leaves the field, quite the contrary. But what I do want is teachers in the classroom to find their light inside again, to find their why, to fall in love with life again. And when we are filled with joy at the prospect of another day reaching minds, that is when we are truly living as a teacher. I'm also supporting the educators who have learned that this life, teaching in the classroom, it's not for them. Or maybe their circumstances have changed and they really are needing to focus in on their mental health, their families, their internal joy for change. No matter where you are on your journey, the path is ready for you. The way has already been paved. It's ready for you to take the first scary step into a more beautiful and vibrant life. Karen Lamb said, "A year from now, you may wish you had started today." Thanks so much for listening to today's show, all about maybe you don't want to be a teacher anymore. As always, remember your best is yet to come, and I'll see you right back here, teachers, next Wednesday. Have a beautiful day.